Hey everybody, Justin Weber, ampsandsound. I have been on a little bit of a kick of showing some of my stereos. So here's our great room family space. And this is the most contentious stereo in the whole house. Principally because when we first moved into this house, we have a huge wall, and I have a TV behind us for the huge wall. And we wanted a piece of furniture to fit the space, and there wasn't any that would allow for modern stereo racks. So I took all these pictures from different Crate and Barrel and Pottery Barn catalogs. I went to my team at the factory. We worked on basically just modifying what would look like a Crate and Barrel armoire or a sofa back table, and we made it deep enough so that my components would fit in and have some options to it. So in doing that, I then built a set. We were in the development cycle of our Seneca speakers, and this was our test mule, which is a little bit of a Seneca and a little bit of a Klamath. So you have the really big horn and 15-inch woofer, and the Seneca's cabinetry, which this is 30 inches tall, matched pretty much the exact height of the armoire or the media cabinet. And I wanted to bring other speakers in because I love speakers and love putting them in different spaces. And I get a resounding no, go fly a kite every single time for two reasons. One, they're black, which is I think my wife's favorite color for furniture. And two, they're the same height as the media cabinet. And so unless I build a set of speakers at the exact same height and they're black, it's a solid no-go, which is okay. I get it. I still get a 15-inch woofer, a two-way horn-loaded speaker, and my own crossover, so it's an okay compromise, but it's probably the most long-lived speaker in my entire house, which is a little bizarre. That being said, these are 98 dB efficient, just like our Senecas. Go down to 34 hertz, just like the Seneca. The Seneca obviously just has the nicer horn, same driver though. What we have here, and I didn't know this at the time, was we have our black pearl, and I didn't know that my wife had a preference for tubes, which tubes she enjoyed more. And we had in here for a long time the Calypso, which the Calypso is the 2-channel version of a Nautilus. It's a KT88 single-ended, 5 to 8 watt, wonderful sounding amplifier. And she actually said she preferred the sound of the Black Pearl, and that we had built this Black Pearl to take to Axpona, and when it went to Axpona, was ready for Axpona, the Calypso was put in its place. And she was very, very clear that upon the completion of Axpona 2024, that the Black Pearl needed to come home. So this is my wife's amp. This is our stereo pre, works pretty great. We have a Blue Note sound just to handle sort of TV DAC duties in the living room, because our principal source almost always is our turntable. We have a very old Pioneer Elite CD player. When I first met my wife, she actually had her own stereo, which I was so impressed with, and had a bigger CD collection than I did. So it was a wonderful point of commonality. The turntable is largely VPI parts and meant to look like a Scoutmaster. I never could afford a Scoutmaster. First VPI I ever got was actually a Classic, which was really great, from Brooks Burdan. But I wanted a Scoutmaster, and so this is my homage to a Scoutmaster. And running a Gelco 9-inch arm and an Ortofon 2M bronze, which I think the 2M bronze is completely the most accessible, best sounding everyday cartridge you can get. It makes any record sound fantastically good, and is probably all you need. So my 3 suggestions for people are always the Audio-Technica OC9 Microline, the Denon 103R, or the 2M bronze. So our pre has a wonderful phono stage in it with variable loading, and it matches really perfectly from a gain standpoint with the 2M bronze. 98 dB efficient speakers, 8 watts single-ended, 0 feedback, and from the TV, CDs or records or streaming, we're pretty much set. It's not the highest resolution system because of our DAC here. Obviously the turntable works great, but the DAC is not the stars. The DAC is just for TV use. But I always try for the simplest but best answer, and this is sort of my idea, the simplest best answer. And I probably over exceeded that goal because I can't make these speakers leave. Making them work in your space, whatever we choose, I think has as much to do with good sound and using our equipment as anything else. Hopefully you guys will make considerations for that next time. Thanks.
And 2 cents from the wife, if you want the right sound and the right speakers, for somebody that has super sensitive ears, which I do, the Black Pearl and these speakers make a dynamite combination, which will make your wife very, very happy.
That's actually true.
Thank you.